Coming up, our quest to discover the nation's best wheelchair-accessible photography destinations takes us to the mighty Rocky Mountains in Colorado. Believe it or not, some of the most iconic landscape images of all time are perfectly suited for people with disabilities. Join us as we visit historic ghost towns, towering aspen forests, and of course, the legendary Maroon Bells. Greetings, friends, and welcome to beautiful Colorado. We're in a little town called Aspen, and yes, it is the place where the beer flows like wine. But perhaps more important, it is actually a gateway to a lot of really astonishing landscape photography destinations. And with fall colors upon us, now is the time, my friends. Now is the time. It has been depicted in movies, documentaries, and television shows. A small town in the middle of the Rocky Mountains. A place where celebrities cruise the shopping district, and the rich and powerful do whatever it is they do when they're not swimming through comical oceans of gold like Scrooge McDuck. Aspen is the little mountain town with the big reputation. Every year, photographers from all across the world come to this place for its abundance of local scenery. All around us, we have the White River National Forest, a combination of towering Rocky Mountains and endless aspen forests. Over 100 years ago, the discovery of gold and silver brought a tidal wave of pioneers and prospectors across the United States. They built towns high in the mountains and pulled precious metals from the earth, all while writing the very history of the Great American West. Today, the mining operations are long since extinct, and in their place, a new era of gold is waiting to be discovered. As autumn approaches, the aspen forests transform. Shimmering leaves catch the light, fill the camera, and give new meaning to the idea of national treasure. Pretty much everywhere you turn, nature is putting on a showcase of her true colors. And at the center of that showcase, we find the iconic Maroon Bells. If you've been on the landscape photography scene for long enough, chances are pretty good that the Maroon Bells have landed squarely at the top of your bucket list. I've been coming here for years, chasing that legendary image, and no matter how many times I come back, there's just something magical about this place that never gets old. Alright friends, one of the best things about the Maroon Bells is that they are fully wheelchair accessible, so virtually anyone can experience this magical destination. Now, I would consider the wheelchair to be the ultimate common denominator. Essentially, if a place can accommodate a wheelchair, then it can also accommodate virtually any other tier of disability. So if you are a wounded veteran, or if you walk with a prosthetic limb, or if you just don't get around as well as you used to, you should have no problem navigating the Bells and getting really great pictures. On the accessibility front, it doesn't get much better than this. The Bells have a generous parking area, which transitions into a flat and gentle trail. For years, this trail has been leading photographers to the very famous Maroon Lake, where we discover our very famous reflection shot. Now, capturing the Maroon Bells can be a little bit more complicated than just showing up. Fortunately, we have created a comprehensive video on how to photograph this legendary location. Don't worry, it's totally free, not trying to sell anything, so be sure to catch that tutorial at the end of this video. I'll also drop a link in the show notes below. Trust me, it's worth a look, because I've been getting my butt kicked by this place for years, and in that time, we've learned a few tricks along the way that may just help you crack the code. progress farther up the trail, we leave the sanctuary of wheelchair accessibility far behind. But not to worry, we will visit a whole new wheelchair location in just a bit. For now, the trail ventures up into the higher elevations. We find ourselves immersed in the magnificent aspen forests, which grow at the base of these formidable mountains. The crowds of tourists slowly disappear, and the wilderness rises above us on all sides. From our elevated vantage, a whole new White River experience unfolds right before our very eyes. As we continue to explore the national forest areas surrounding Aspen, we discover all kinds of natural wonders outside of the Maroon Bells. The wandering roads take us through a sleepy countryside, which offers splendid views of the fall colors. And if you happen to be interested in history, Aspen is also home to a beautifully preserved ghost town. Greetings, friends, and welcome to the ghost town of Ashcroft, Colorado. Now, we're just outside of Aspen, and if you've come up here to shoot the Maroon Bells, Ashcroft could actually be a nice little bonus to your fall color photography. There's a lot of history here. It's a beautiful place. So let's go take a look. This quaint little hamlet is also fully wheelchair accessible. The paved parking area leads directly to a modest path, which can easily accommodate almost all levels of disabled mobility. The town of Ashcroft is nestled in the majestic foothills of the Maroon Bells, so pretty much anywhere you aim your camera is going to give you a scene of epic proportions. Soaring aspen forests rise up the slopes of Castle Creek Canyon on all sides of the town, and from the path, you can line up each of the ancient structures with towering hillsides filled with fall colors rolling off into the distance. There are plenty of opportunities for great-looking photography, all concentrated in a very small area. So if you're into the idea of artistic efficiency, this little ghost town is going to provide a lot of payout when you visit.
Many times we have walked ourselves in circles, only to find we're in the right place. We're here at home between the verses and the words that make us whole. We find peace knowing together we're never alone.
When it comes to landscape photography, Aspen is the gift that keeps on giving. If you find yourself on any of the country roads which wind through the mountainous terrain, you will undoubtedly come across all kinds of great places for roadside photography. Being able to shoot from the window of your vehicle is pretty much the next best thing to full-on wheelchair access. I have always had good luck in the roadside arena because the White River National Forest is simply so charismatic from almost any vantage. There are far too many great places to recount, and if I'm being perfectly honest, I probably couldn't even tell you exactly where all of them are. They just seem to coalesce out of the hills every time you drive down the road. And so, rest assured, if you visit any of the aforementioned places on this expedition, you will likely find plenty of roadside gemstones of your own. My only major points of advice are twofold. Number 1, do not stand in the middle of the road to take a picture. Always make sure that both you and your car are pulled securely off of the road so that you do not find yourself in a vehicular catastrophe. Number 2, please do not invade private property. Much of the land surrounding these majestic country roads is privately owned, and trespassing is one of the all-time worst ways to damage the public perception of the photography community. Not to mention, it's super illegal, so just don't do it. And number 2.5, bring a telephoto lens. Most people probably do not associate long lenses with landscape photography, but this could not be farther from the truth. A good telephoto can enable you to reach out across vast distances and capture interesting compositions, in this case, without ever setting foot on private property. I have captured some of my all-time favorite landscape images with a telephoto lens. They are particularly good for isolating little bits of forest with that magical quality that you can only find in the grandiose aspen groves of Colorado.
We will see you there soon. 'Cause who says the night can last forever? I was there when it was young. Who says the time will be remembered when we were always on the run? Who says the blood, the sweat, the tears that we have shed?
And so, as we plan our future fall colors photography adventures, it's nice to know that you don't necessarily have to be an Olympic rock climber to find yourself right up close and personal with some of America's most scenic destinations. Many of our national forests offer excellent opportunities for people from all walks of life to enjoy the great outdoors. The White River National Forest is only the beginning. The United States is a very big nation, one that is filled with all kinds of amazing places, just waiting to be explored.
All right, friends, as always, thank you so much for joining us. I certainly hope that you had fun on our little fall colors adventure. Now, I wasn't kidding about our Maroon Bells tutorial. If you want to learn everything it takes to photograph this iconic destination, be sure to stick around for the next video. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. We got a lot of cool new stuff coming up, and I don't want you to miss out. So we'll see you in the next lesson.